My name is Leslie Chanthaphasouk. I'm one of the first co-chairs of the very first Southeast Asia Admit weekend, which took place in April 2009. The cool part about having a first, being the first, is that you actually get to lay the foundation. So we talked about things like mission and vision. We had 18 coordinators, so it was just really cool seeing folks from different walks of life, folks from different organizations come together and really pitch their ideas to form one really, I would say, successful event, and is now going on to its fifth year. So,
My name is Brian Lee. I used to be a BSU External Vice President. That was back in 2008 to 2009.
Hi, I'm Trung Nguyen. I was part of the second SEAadmit as a co-chair.
I think SEAadmit was created as a response to kind of show, these students who got admitted that UCLA is a school, it's a great school, and that kind of show them what it's like before they submit that SIR.
So I got involved with SEAadmit because it was around the time when I first started getting involved with student organizing. I wanted to do work with the Southeast Asian community. I was doing a lot of work with SEAclear at that time, and I was really inspired to work with youth in particular. I worked with youth in different spaces as well. So I thought working with Southeast Asian youth, SEAadmit would be a perfect place to do that.
Very much a collaborative effort, and we wanted to be inclusive. We wanted this to be developmental for everyone. And for me, I was a third year at that time, and really kind of starting to think about my identity as a Southeast Asian. What does it mean to be a student leader? What does it mean to be an activist? Because really, it was a bunch of communities coming together and saying, we want to build, we want to support folks who identify as Southeast Asian coming into the space. We want to build community, and we want to make things happen.
We wanted to target not only Vietnamese students, but Southeast Asian students, just because we all share a common background. We share that common bond, and we kind of want to create a strong Southeast Asian identity here on campus to make it so that the students who come here feel safe, feel welcome, and kind of call UCLA their home.
In terms of the purpose, I think one thing that you'll need to really be discussing, if you haven't already, is kind of what does Southeast Asia mean, right? Why are you doing it? Or what is the reason behind having this event, right? You're putting all this effort into it. Why are you putting this effort into it, right? For me, what I always had in mind throughout all the long nights was this event is extremely important because certain Southeast Asian communities, Southeast Asian refugee communities in particular, right, are represented in data and public discourse in a way which is not very true to what the reality of the community is, right? The numbers don't tell the tale of what it translates to in higher education, in careers, and other spaces, right?
Right, our vision, we were all really young during the time of SEAadmit, but we were thankful to have a lot of really supportive alumni with us. It was a tough year because it was like the second SEAadmit, right? So the first one was really successful, but then it's like, can this thing really sustain? So our vision was to kind of sustain the previous vision, right? We were very committed to that. We were very committed to developing a Southeast Asian community on campus, amongst the volunteers, amongst the workshop folks, amongst the coordinators.
When you're building something from the ground up, you have no skeleton, you have no system already built in, so you have to build it yourself. It was a lot of trial and error, a lot of late night meetings, but I think during those meetings there was also a lot of camaraderie, a lot of community building, team building that was going on. So not only were we a good team in terms of building this event, or putting together this event, but we became good friends. It was crazy seeing it all kind of pan out. The meetings were exhausting, but it was so well worth it because I think you really saw the impact of the students. The whole thing was it just went off the charts for me. Like I just didn't know what it was going to be about. I just kind of put my chips in and be like, this is what I'm going to invest myself in, and in the end, it was just amazing.
I think the outcomes were there. Basically, I know in my family we had probably 7 out of 8 admit to UCLA, but I think the greater goal of creating that, not only establishing SEAadmit as something that will happen every year, but also kind of bringing together not only like Vietnamese students, but all the other orgs, like the Hmong, the Laotian, and the Khmer communities, like that's really strong. And that's something that, you know, I see improve every year as in terms of unity. And that's something that I think only helps bring our community forward.
I'm happy that it's 5 years. I hope it'll be like a long future after that. There's a lot of hard work that goes into this space, but also enjoy it. I mean, as I remember when I was coming in as a freshman, I wish I had some experience like this.
Like me going into UCLA, I never had SEAadmit, I never had Road Day. The only time I knew UCLA was during orientation after I submitted my statement of intent to register, you know.
And something that was, you know, not only just workshops, but also community building, getting to know folks, getting to know yourself, and also just, you know, living life, trusting in the process, enjoying the journey, enjoying the ride. It's a very good beginning to a longer journey of UCLA and your future. So.